Hello, I'm back again with another little video for YouTube with another little design I've been tinkering with today. What we've got here is basically a cooker or an oven room really. I've been doing a lot of tinkering in debug, looking at a few different builds and a few different systems, and on one of the last videos we did I showed how we can capture magma within our base using the bottle emptier and the pitcher pump and making a vacuum room. And we use this same theory for boiling crude oil into petroleum and then natural gas. We also did a little video showing some airlock designs, and one of the things that I've really tried to do today is encapsulate all of that into one little build, because I've been wanting to make Naptha. Basically, that's what this has all come down to. So just to explain what we've got here, we've got magma that's trapped inside a vacuum, as we did before. I've just basically put some airlocks in here just to show you how you access the room and actually pump more magma in when this cools off, and you'd have access to mine it out basically. But connected to this magma, what we've got currently is a mechanized airlock in an open state, and then some metal tiles above it. Now you'll see that a mechanized airlock, when it's open, doesn't actually conduct any temperature. It doesn't transfer any heat. This is something that was brought to my attention today on the forums by Neotix in a thread created by Kemi. I'll put it in the notes after in the description. But yeah, I did a bit of testing myself and found that, quite rightly so, an airlock when it's open doesn't transfer any temperature. So it got me thinking a little bit. What I've basically done is connected an airlock to some tiles with a thermosensor above it. The thermosensor is triggered to a NOT gate, so it's in an inverted state, and then this will tick on when I choose it to, really. In the room above we've got some natural gas. I just threw any gas in there really, it doesn't really matter. And this is basically where we would have our compactors full of plastic, or build a load of ladders, however you want to do it. And again, we've got access through these Naptha locks. Out here I've just put a little chamber just full of some oxygen, so that you can see that the temperature isn't actually being transferred from these rooms. Because we have a vacuum between these Naptha airlocks, there's no heat coming out of these rooms, and you could keep this a vacuum very simply just by putting a mini pump in here, or again an airlock that you can toggle on and off. But yeah, to show you what it does then, I'll unpause the game. We're going to be in the thermal overview for most of this. So currently the room is below 200 degrees. Okay, so this will toggle on. The airlock will then come into contact with the magma, and we'll see that instantly it gets very toasty. And then this temperature is being transferred to these metal tiles, and it'll start warming up the room. Okay, now currently our switch isn't picking up the temperature. It seems to travel up in a vertical column. Temperature has changed a little bit in the most recent update. Cold now falls very harshly, heat rises very quickly. So it's one of the reasons why I've spread this out a little bit. But you can see we're getting close towards the target temperature. The heat's dispersing in the room. What will probably happen to begin with, the switch will toggle off and toggle on, toggle off and toggle on. But yeah, we've cooked the room basically. If we had some mesh tiles in here with some compactors on, we could put our plastic in and then collect the naphtha from underneath. And that's it. That's what this build is. It's a big old oven. As you can see, now that we've reached the target temperature, the mechanized airlock has toggled off, so it's no longer in contact with the lava, or magma, sorry. And then these tiles will just continue to cool off a little bit. Currently they're at 280 odd degrees, but this heat will be dispersed into the room. We've got some natural gas up here that's a bit cooler, 70 odd degrees down here, again because of how heat rises. But if we look at our oxygen outside, this started at 20 degrees. This naphtha is warming up. But because of the vacuum, we're still at 20 degrees, and all of our heat is contained exactly where we want it. We're getting the most out of our energy. Obviously this room could be as small as you like, but we're getting the most out of our energy as possible. And that's it really. As I say, when the magma eventually cools, obviously we've knocked a few degrees out the magma. When it eventually cools, you could have exosuits coming in here, get your tubes in, dig out the magma, and then drop some more off and reprime the system. But it's a way of getting those extreme temperatures without worrying about exploiting tepidizers or anything like that. Without worrying about overheating, we've essentially made a nice little oven. So yeah, I hope that helps, guys. Have a nosy, have a play. If you can improve on this, by all means let me know. Just, send me any pictures or links or anything like that. I'm always up for that. If you want to ask me anything in question directly, You can come and see me on Twitch, Lifegrow on Twitch. I stream most nights, 7 PM GMT till late. So yeah, thanks very much. Take care. Bye.